Hello, and we're still here in Daytona Beach, but today we're going around the road course here for the Great Lakes Cup Series live on Split Second Broadcasting here on Twitch. I'm here in the booth with Gavin, and on pit road we have Alex. This is going to be a blast today. Alex, what do you expect here on the road course tonight?
Wrecks, mistakes, and a lot of people getting angry at each other.
Have you heard anything about possibly last week's beef between Merrick and Brandon carrying over into this week?
Well, it'll be interesting to see if those two stay near each other on the track this week, as it's a totally different style of racing this time around, but if it does, that's gonna get interesting.
It's always a blast here in Daytona. Don't see the stock cars on the road course too much, but today they're racing 35 laps around this Daytona road course, right and left turns. Any ideas on possible pit strategy or anything along those lines?
Well, with the nature of road courses and these cars, these drivers aren't going to have too many opportunities to save fuel without losing a whole lot of lap time. So tonight we'll be looking at these drivers to go about 15 to 16 laps under green, as long as it stays green. So we'll be seeing these drivers be about 1 lap difference and see who can stretch it to that 16 lap mark.
And you caught us right here in the middle of open qualifying as we have around a minute and a half left. Currently on the pole in the number 47 is Nathan Nicholson with the 153.9. Around 2/10 behind him is Scott Stewart. And then last week's winner, Christopher Heller, who won on the oval last week, is third right now. Very quick time from him. It's still a minute left. See if some guys can get in some last minute times and set themselves up for the race.
Yes, that's what we'll be looking at. It's very interesting to see these drivers in open qualifying this time around. We could see some drivers try and get some draft to get some better lap
All right, guys,
times,
we have
or
less than a
see
minute
drivers that
now
just try and
until
find
we
some
start
clean air
gridding.
so they could crawl around that racetrack and get that quick time on the cold tires. So it's very interesting to see how close these drivers are at the front of the field despite all that chaos that could come from open qualifying.
Always love racing here on the road course. Qualifying coming down to a close. Looking to see if there's anyone really left on the track. Elliot Henderson is trying to put a last second lap down. I don't think he's going to get around in time, though. Ashton Lawson's still on track, but he's not going to get around in time as well. Brandon White looks to be finishing up a lap in the number 86 machine. See what he can maybe put down as he's coming out of turn 2. And I think the way it works, everyone can get around one more time. I'm not sure. Alex, do you know about that? Can these guys come around and finish their lap, or
Well, Kyle,
is
there's
it
2.5 minutes left in qualifying. A lap around here is just under 2 minutes, so these drivers will be perfectly fine as long as they cross within the next 25 seconds.
Nathan Nicholson, our current pole sitter, finishing up a lap here, looking to improve on his current pole time? A lot of pink on that car this week, and he does not improve on that pole time.
Yeah,
Elliot
well,
Henderson.
yeah, Kyle, it's looking like a one and done at this racetrack. The tires fall off a lot after a single lap, so seeing any driver improve their time on the second lap, if anything, is more of a statement to show that their first lap was really slow rather than their second lap being really good.
And Elliot has not made a lap yet, and he comes around, and he's going to put himself in 8th position. He's currently the 8th quickest driver. Good lap from Elliott. Gonna set him up with possibly a decent start at the beginning of this race.
Yeah,
I
that'll be
think
a
that's
good
it.
start for this race here. Just under a second off our pole sitter here. That's not bad considering this style of racing. So we'll be looking to see that the top 10 looks to be about a second apart. So it's ought to be an interesting race towards the front.
Turn one is always craziness here at the Daytona road course. Wondering what are these guys' breaking points? A lot of drivers have a lot of different breaking points. Could we possibly see a collision going into turn one, Alex?
Well, it's very likely because if you get any driver that steps on those brakes just a little too hard and locks up a tire, they'll be heading straight for the driver in front of them. Locking up those tires is going to be the cause of a lot of incidents today, I would imagine.
This is definitely going to be a very interesting race. No competition cautions this time around. 35 laps. We'll see how clean these guys can really keep it, as it looks like we're going to have a 22 car field to start this thing. Should get very interesting as these guys are about to grid up in a moment. I'd like to also mention that the Great Lakes Cup Series is presented by Butt Kicker here on Twitch. And I thank every single one of you for watching this broadcast with us, as we're going to go racing here in a few moments from the Daytona Road Course, 35 laps here in race number 2 of the Great Lakes Cup Series. And if you weren't with us last week, definitely a lot of drama, very exciting race. Christopher Heller came out on top. Peter Accumano with the second place finish. Josh Scully in third. Kyle Hall in fourth. And then RJ Williams in fifth. Christopher Heller looking strong once again here today. And he's going to roll off in the third spot once we get going, as these guys are beginning to grid up. This is going to be a great race. I'm very excited.
Yes, especially looking at a bit of a controversy that came out of last week between our drivers of Brandon Barkowski and Merrick Watchhorn, who Merrick was leading the race on the last lap when Brandon Barkowski came up underneath him going through turn 3 and turned him around. Those two drivers will be starting nose to tail here for this race, so that's going to be a very interesting battle to watch going through this event.
It might not even be through this event. It might just be over in turn one.
Who knows, Kyle? Who knows? Well, we'll figure this out in just a minute here.
All I'm gonna say is get your popcorn ready, because the pace car is about to pull off, and they're gonna start moving around this racetrack for their pace lap. I think they're only gonna do around a half a pace lap, as they're already lined up on the back stretch. So we'll get green here in just a few moments.
The thing to note here, guys, is there is no cautions on this road course. We run only local yellows, so if there's an accident, you might as well count yourself out of this race. It's basically one and you're done. If someone can wreck out and drive their way through the field, then they earned it. But you're not getting any help today with cautions.
That's a great point, Gavin. Those local cautions aren't gonna do anything for you. So this should be a great race. If you keep your car clean, you're gonna have a good finish. Okay, so they're gonna do a lap and a half actually around, as they're gonna pass the line one time when they come past this time around, and then they're gonna go past one more time, and the pace car will pull off, and they will get the green flag. In row number 1, you'll have Nathan Nicholson on the pole. He's looking to have a good finish this week after looking pretty strong last week with the 7th place finish. And then on his outside, you have Scott Stewart Jr. in the number 26. A very cool looking Nike Just Do It machine from him.
And taking up the second row here, you got Christopher Heller in that 2511, number 11 Toyota Camry, followed by Ashton Lawson in the Sun Energy 24. He's extremely strong at these road courses. Watch out for him to be a big mover today.
In that third row, we got the 31 of Josh Cottle heading there, and beside him, the 20 of Phil Bedford.
On the next row, we have Elliot Henderson, who looked really strong last week and has also looked really strong in the truck so far this year. And then next to him, you have Brandon Berkowski.
Moving back to the next row, I believe we've Zachary Henry, who will be starting in 10th today on the outside, followed by, I believe it will be Merrick Watchhorn behind him.
And right behind those two drivers, we got RJ Williams in 11th place and the 42 of Nick Martin.
Then in the next row, we have the number 07 of Seth Harrelson. And then on the outside, or in the right lane, we'll have the number 22 of Drew Cox, who looked so strong last week at Daytona.
Followed by them will be the number 55, I believe, of Seth Harrelson, followed by the 86 of Brandon White.
And following all those drivers are our non-qualifiers, the 33 of Josh Cully and the 43 of Peter Akimana.
Then behind him, you have Jacob Bransky and Kyle Munson, and the 55 is actually Talon Pelfrey.
And rounding out the field, we have Spencer Dickinson, who did not set a qualifying lap today.
Wow, no love for Kyle Hall there. Completely forgot about him. Very
Where
sad.
is Kyle? Oh, I didn't see Kyle Hall on my relative. My apologies, Kyle. I did not see him on my relative. It's the black car, it blends in with the track.
Gavin just
is-
hates him is all. He's got personal beef or something. I don't know.
Kyle Hall used to be my teammate in Great Lakes in the Truck Series for the first season, actually. As this is his hometown race.
Where
Well,
are the numbers? I've heard of unsponsored, but unnumbered? Could they not afford the numbers?
I guess not. That's obviously an extreme backmarker team there.
I mean, they were obviously able to afford the gloss paint, but they couldn't afford the numbers?
Apparently.
Very questionable. And then you have the Dogecoin car right in front of them. I think every race so far here on for the Great Lakes Cup and Truck Series, we've had a Dogecoin vehicle.
I think you're right. I forget who it was in the Truck Series, but there has been a Dogecoin vehicle in every Great Lakes Truck Series race.
I'm just waiting for this Dogecoin to succeed or just go to the moon, because that's always funny. How are you feeling after Tuesday, by the way, Gavin? You looked
Oh,
really strong out there.
Yeah, really, really excited. It was a good run between everyone there at Spectrum Racing. Looking forward to next week, where the trucks also follow the Cup Series to the road course. Really excited for that.
Here comes the pace car through the NASCAR chicane. The pace car is about to pull off, and Nathan Nicholson's going to lead him down to the green flag, and he's way out in front of everybody. I don't know what happened there.
That was a massive jump. I believe that Scott Stewart there didn't get going, and here comes Ashton Lawson looking down to his inside. He's already picked up a spot.
Ashton Lawson in that Chase Elliott vehicle, looking to succeed here on the road course today. Looking strong there on the start. Nathan Nicholson has a couple car length lead over our Daytona winner, Christopher Heller, looking to make it a Daytona two-step.
As of note, Merrick Watchhorn, aggressive on the start, picks up a spot of Brandon, and he's got his eyes set on Josh Cottle here.
Drew Cox making moves in the back, I'm watching, looking to get through the field here early. Very painful to have that win taken away from him last week. Looked like the strongest vehicle all day. And today looking to make a comeback.
Oh, as Phil Bedford and Elliot Henderson get together, what a catch by Elliot.
And Phil and Elliot do not sound happy with each other on the radio.
Oh, there's a spin. There's a spin coming onto the oval.
And Drew Cox, I shouldn't have mentioned him. I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry.
Commentator curse, guys. Commentator curse.
Damn it.
That commentator curse coming in big.
The number 26, Scott Stewart, able to keep it straight, went through the grass. It looked like coming through the carousel right there. Able to keep it together. Race leader is still Nathan Nicholson. Not too far behind him is the number 11, his teammate, Christopher Heller. 25-11 racing, looking strong early.
Those two 25-11 cars are looking nice and set up there. You know, that was probably a team practice deal. Nathan, obviously a very good road course racer. As the Dogecoin of Jacob Bransky seems to be having some issues, he will move up out of the groove to let everyone by. Oh, as we're just receiving word now that he blew that bus stop coming onto the front stretch. Obviously, no drive-throughs. It's basically just a slowdown penalty. You gotta stop, give up any positions you've gained, and yield a certain amount of time. Scott Stewart and Elliot Henderson get together.
Elliot Henderson is in a hurry. He's been the biggest mover so far at the beginning of this race, starting 8th, already up to the 5th position, putting pressure on Scott Stewart right there, but Scott Stewart wasn't having it. And Elliot Henderson's going to have to drive him back down.
Don't forget Merrick Watchhorn in that Twiggy Chevrolet behind him. He's also up 3 spots on the start. Him and Elliot being the biggest movers. Actually, pardon me, he is not. Those two are not the biggest mover. It actually appears to be Jacob Bransky who's moved up 4 spots.
I'm not even going to say anything. I want Dogecoin to succeed.
Yeah, don't bring him up. Don't bring it up.
Nathan Nicholson gapping his teammate a little bit here. He's almost pulled out to a second lead on his teammate Christopher Heller. And the number 24 of Ashton Lawson is driving him down, looking very quick.
Just looking at the lap times here, I'd just like to go on record and say that Nathan Nicholson is half a second faster than his teammate.
Insane. Nathan Nicholson looks really strong on the road course today. And right when I say they got a little loose coming in there, but I think he'll be okay. I'm going to check the times at the line this time around and see what Nathan's doing compared to his teammate. As
RJ.
Nathan 154.4 and Christopher Heller's around 2/10 slower than him.
Looking further back in the field there, RJ Williams just locked it up going in the front stretch chicane, but lucky for him, everyone behind him did as well. As Brandon Barkowski looks to the inside here to make a move on him. Will he clear him? RJ's going to get a better run off the corner. Can he hold on to it? If he will not, RJ will have the advantage, however, going into this corner, as Brandon will give up that chase.
And Elliott really dove it in there, and Scott Stewart almost spun it out. Great save. Elliot Henderson really dove it in there through the hairpin. He is racing Scott Stewart hard. Real aggressive, real early from the number 37, coming off a championship just yesterday in the Viscra finale. Looking really strong early today.
He's also probably not very happy with Scott, obviously, that incident earlier where Scott got into the back of him, but he makes his move down to the inside here. Scott seems to yield the position. Looks like he drove that corner in a little too deep, and it opens up the door for Josh Cottle as well, who's going to take him door to door. Merrick Watchhorn lurking behind both of them.
Both Cottle and Watchhorn looking very strong here early, as Cottle got past Watchhorn around a lap ago. And Cottle's now going to move on Henderson coming down the backstretch as he has a huge run.
Scott Stewart lost so many positions there.
And Bedford really drove it in there, and I thought he was going to hit someone, able to keep it straight.
Merrick to the inside of Elliott. Here we go.
And with all this madness going on, Ashton Lawson has moved into second place, I would like to know. He has passed Christopher Heller and is beginning to catch up to Nathan Nicholson.
I told you watch out for Ashton to be a big mover. Like I said, superb driver as the 26 locks it up. Pardon me, going into the front stretch chicane.
Nathan Nicholson looking dominant. 4 laps in, he's led the first 3 of them. The number 24 right in front of Christopher Heller. Christopher Heller hasn't really lost any time to the 24 since the 24 got by him. Sticking right with him, looking to see what maybe Ashton Lawson is doing on the track, seeing if he can see what his break points are, what his line is. Maybe take some notes, because Ashton Lawson's one of the quickest drivers on the track right now.
Yes, sir, he is. That's what you got to do with these road courses. You can't get right behind someone and immediately make a pass on them. You got to sit there, analyze their break points, analyze what they're doing. Because if you just pull up behind someone, you don't know when they're going to break, and you have to know, because if they break sooner than you think, you're going to go right into the back of them and take both of yourselves out.
A little racy in the back. I'm watching Peter Akimano, Kyle Munson, and Kyle Hall in that all black car. battling back there around 15th place. Everyone, everyone's pretty spread out throughout the field right now.
Sir is just once again looking at some lap times. Nathan Nicholson still half a second faster than the car behind him. He's taken this field for a walk. The only thing I believe that might hinder him is tire wear or lap traffic, as those can get pretty hectic here on road courses, as there's not much room to maneuver. If you pull up on a lap car, sometimes you're gonna have to slow down and get stuck behind them. That's just how it's gonna go.
Nathan Nicholson looking strong early. Going to check the times at the line once again as Nathan Nicholson with the 1:55.7. And it's around once again, around a half a second, a little more than a half a second that time, quicker than Ashton Lawson. And Heller is sticking right to Lawson's bumper. Lawson has not been able to gap Heller whatsoever. And these three are way out in front of Watchhorn and Cottle, who have been battling it out for fourth the last couple of laps.
There's always Phil Bedford there. You know, it's been a crazy start to this race. I mean, you know, 35 lap race. We're 5 laps in, and look at all that's happened. I'm sure the ending of this is going to be even better, but
Bedford overdriving the hairpin I'm seeing over here.
Ashton overdrove that corner, and here comes Heller to his inside. Cameraman's probably not too happy with us, showing about 2 completely different events. But Ashton makes it, as I believe that's Drew Cox seems to have hit a wall, just based off that image. That is race ending.
I did not do it this time, Drew. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, don't blame him this time. I promise. Just look in here. I guarantee you, it looks like he's probably just gonna miss this corner. That.
Guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, there goes the 6 as well. Oh, that's what happened.
Is that coming? Plot twist.
Plot twist. The 2 teammates, I believe. Don't quote me on that if they're teammates, but I believe the 2 teammates just took themselves out. Anyway, moving back to the current race events, Chris Heller has overtaken Ashton Lawson for second.
They're battling it out hard. They've been switching back and forth for second the last few laps. Christopher Heller looking pretty strong right now. As Ashton was driving really quick those last few laps, you have to wonder if maybe he used up his tires.
You know, that's what I gotta wonder about Nicholson too. Maybe he is burning up his tires.
That last time by, Nathan Nicholson, though, was almost 3 seconds quicker than both these guys. 3 seconds quicker than Ashton Lawson and almost 2.5 seconds quicker than second place Christopher Heller. So Nathan Nicholson is not backing off one bit, as he has the pedal to the metal, as he has a huge gap between him and second.
You know, if I'm him, I'm really thinking, I think he could burn his tires up and still have time to spare.
Watchhorn has put a little bit of a gap between himself and Cottle. Scott Stewart back there in the 6th position. Brandon Berkowski right behind him. Bedford has settled into the 8th position after his close call a few laps ago. Elliot Henderson, after a hard charge early, has dropped back to the 9th position, and then RJ Williams rounds out your top 10.
Yes, sir. Scott Stewart, you know, he has lost 4 positions so far this race, as that's disappointing for him. But just looking at the quick standings right now, we have 3 people tied for the biggest mover. We have Kyle Hall, Jacob Bransky, and Merrick Watchhorn, all tied for the biggest mover so far. As obviously that will award, I believe it is 1 bonus point to the biggest mover of the race. Obviously, provided everything stays the way they are, all 3 drivers will see it. As Ashton Lawson misses the front stretch chicane, he will have to slow down and give up that time.
Costly mistake from Ashton Lawson. He's gonna lose a lot of time to Heller, but good thing there's a big gap to Merrick Watchhorn in the 4th position.
Yeah, that's one thing about these Great Lakes Series road course events is they seem to be very top heavy, and by that I mean, you know, the guys up front really just pull away from that midfield, and the midfield stays roughly like clustered together. But I know Ashton, I think he's got it in him. He could make the time back up, or Heller might make a mistake, or hit lap traffic, or anything. As we see the 40 car, I believe that is, spin off of Kyle Munson as he makes his way back onto the track.
Well, drivers, I have a little bit of information on Kyle Munson. Earlier in the race on lap 5, going through the final chicane, he had spun out and slammed into the inside wall, which is why he has the front end damage.
As he misses the front stretch chicane as well. That vehicle obviously struggling for some handling after that hit with the wall.
Munson's struggling today in that number 40 machine. Hopefully he can get it together. You guys are talking about possible lap traffic. I'm looking right now. The closest lapper to Nathan Nicholson would be Drew Cox with a lot of front nose damage from his 2 accidents. And he is just now coming past the start finish line. And Nathan Nicholson's coming around turns 3 and 4. So it'll be a little while still until Nathan gets to lap traffic.
Yes, sir, as Nathan once again completes another great lap. He's currently running, he just ran a 156.9, pardon me, a 156.7 that time, as his teammate Chris Heller will come across the line to run a 158, almost 2 seconds quicker, as Ashton Lawson has reeled him back in. Or, well, reeling him in.
A lot of speed out of that 47. It's just insane. Heller was really struggling coming out of the carousel, really the NASCAR carousel, really wheeling it that last time by, as it looks like Josh Cottle will be the first to make pit stops with RJ Williams not too far behind him.
Followed by, I believe that is RJ Williams, Seth Harrelson, and Josh Cottle, all Spectrum Racing cars coming down pit road this time. As they all come off the jack, except for Seth, pardon me.
So what do you think the strategy is to come down this early, Alex?
Well, frankly, that's what I'm trying to figure out at the moment. It could possibly be a matter of these drivers feel that the newer tires and the lap time you get from that could be more advantageous than trying to save the fuel, as the 07 coming off pit lane slams the pit wall and now has significant right side damage. But I believe the strategy could be just try and find some pace on these tires, as these drivers have to go 35 laps. They could go about 15 laps on fuel, so pitting at this point here would still have them do the next 2 pit stops while having a tire advantage in open air.
Very interesting strategy from Spectrum Racing here tonight. We'll see if it works out for them. As we have Drew Cox on pit road now.
Well, Drew Cox, I feel, was probably looking for some repairs quite a while ago and was just hoping to hit this kind of mark very soon.
Nathan Nicholson.
Him and Chris Heller are now within a 10th of each other's lap times. As Chris is honestly putting on an impressive display. Not that he's ever been poor at road courses in the Great Lakes Series here, but he's never been overly good. Like, he's having a fantastic run today. I haven't seen him this far up in a road course race in a long time. With that being said, our last road course race in the Great Lakes Series here was the trucks at Watkins Glen, which there was a huge pileup on the first lap, which took out a good handful of cars.
We're watching here. Phil Bedford completely over driving turn 1. Got a little airborne. Don't hit the Dogecoin car, please. Stay away.
We talked about the Dogecoin car. Come on, Kyle. We all know that he's going to die.
We talked about this.
As a move was just made there for, I believe that's 8th position. Nick Martin passing the 36, I believe. 39, my apologies, of Zachary Henry.
Yeah, Zachary Henry made a big mistake going through the kink in the infield and got loose and came off track going through there, which is why the 42 got by him.
Zachary Henry obviously making his first season here in Great Lakes Cup Series.
Zachary Henry and Nick Martin very quietly moved into the top 10 into the 8th and 9th position. Not too far behind Elliot Henderson. Interested to see if they can maybe drive him down and see how much speed these guys have as they continue to battle for that 8th spot.
Yeah, these road
Oh,
course races.
this is
There's
a-
an incident at the exit of the front stretch chicane. I believe that is
Chicane.
Drew Cox again. As everyone gets around him pretty cleanly.
Kyle, what'd you do to him, man?
Get into it. We're going to try to get a replay here for you of Drew Cox and his third incident of the day, and he just locked him up and just stopped.
As that car has had a pretty rough day so far. As we also cut to the 6th car here of Spencer Dickinson, who makes the corner. And I believe it'll be here. Does he just miss the braking point? Yep, as he just misses it and just boom. Right into the tire barrier. Instant Alt F4. He is disconnected. Sorry, he is not disconnected, but he has towed his way back to the pits. He's gonna get out of the way.
And some of you are probably wondering, why is Drew Cox still on the racetrack? And that is why Drew Cox is still on the racetrack. He's going for points. He's struggling very hard today with a very mangled race car, but he stays on the racetrack to get some more points. And he just got some.
Merrick Watchhorn loose out of the backstretch chicane.
And the 26 of Scott Stewart is going to pounce on that and take the 4th spot, it looks like. He's all the way up against the wall trying to get past Watchhorn. Watchhorn coming back up to speed, coming to the NASCAR carousel.
And they make it through. Ashton Lawson hitting pit road as we speak. He will be the first of those 3 leaders to come down pit road.
And I would expect, he overdrove his pit box by a little bit, had to back up. But I would expect the other leaders to come down in the next lap, because this is going to definitely help improve Ashton Lawson's pace for the next few laps.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think you got to pit early here. I don't know what Alex thinks of this, but pitting early, you gain more time on those guys with older tires.
Well, boys, right about now, we're looking at a kind of point where I would say pitting would pretty equally split up this race into thirds. What you're looking at is about 3 pit stops here, maybe yeah, about 2 or 3 pit stops depending on what kind of strategy you're going for. I'm thinking we're leaning more towards 2, but you want to try and pit around anywhere from 10 to 12, and then anywhere from, I believe, around 24 to 26 would make you finish this race.
As
Thanks
we just
for the
saw
info,
the
Alex.
as we just saw the 86 miss that front stretch chicane.
Ashton Lawson was struggling for a couple of turns to get past Jacob Bransky, and the Dogecoin vehicle was struggling for a couple of corners, but was able to get past them coming onto the oval portion of the track.
Kyle Munson goes around and he will also reset.
When the 43 of Petey Arcumano is off the track and spinning,
Oh, that's a
knocks
bad
out-
spot, and he's gone.
and he's back.
Oh!
And that was very scary. Zachary Henry almost leveled him coming out of the bus stop right there.
Yeah, that was close. That was a little scary. Just getting a quick replay of it here. You're going to see he probably misses his breaking point. That's the thing is he's got Elliot Henderson right on his tail. You got to be wary of those guys behind you. Who's got caught looking in his mirror as he just locks it up. He doesn't hit the tires, I believe. He only takes out a couple pylons, but
We have
he just
Zachary
blinks.
Henry and Bedford on pit
Ooh.
road.
Pete blinked out at the wrong time, and he came back at an even worse time.
And the race leader is still on the racetrack. What do you think about this, Alex?
Well, the strategy in iRacing is to try and overcut your competition. So I believe him staying out an extra lap or so will allow him to have the better tires and chase down anybody who may try and get around him, and then just pull an even bigger gap than what he has now come the next pit cycle.
Nathan Nicholson's looked extremely strong all day. Ashton Lawson trying to get a step above him with that early pit stop. Only time will tell if that strategy will work out for Lawson. Lawson coming around turns 3 and 4 right now. We're going to be able to see what his lap time is with those brand new tires on the 24. Oh my God, he's coming around turns 1 and 2. We'll have to wait a little bit. As you're currently looking at Zachary Henry. And there's Lawson. There he is coming through the bus stop. A lot of speed in that 24 car tonight. Definitely has podium speed, but he's looking to try to get to that winning speed as he tries to make up time on Nathan Nicholson.
Second place driver Christopher Heller on pit road. He's taking the strategy call now, and this is about the perfect lap to do it. This would split the race almost perfectly into thirds here. And Nathan Nicholson actually stayed out one more lap, which is going to really
Oh,
spice up this order.
Nick Martin almost just wrecked and brake checked Ashton Lawson. That is huge as Ashton's trying to beat Chris Heller off of pit road here.
Very questionable there. As I heard Ashton Lawson on the radio ask for Nick Martin to let him by. Nick Martin wasn't having any of that. Wasn't going to slow down for Ashton.
Ashton Lawson, that is a perfect pit strategy call by that 24 car. He is going to get a huge gap on that 11 car. I think it's close, about, pardon me, I believe 8-ish second gap. That is wonderful, wonderful call by that 24 car.
A couple second gap for Ashton Lawson on Christopher Heller. Now it's going to be very interesting to see where he comes out against Nathan Nicholson, as Nicholson still has not come to pit road. He's just exited the bus stop. You'd expect for him to come down pit road this time, especially since his teammate came just last time around.
I believe what Alex said earlier, I think they have to make a one fuel run last 13 laps in order to split the race into thirds. I believe that Nathan's doing that now. He's going to get it out of the way as he's going to hit pit road this time.
And our race leader has led every lap of the race in that pink Toyota for 2511 race, and Nathan Nicholson will finally make his pit stop as you're on board with our race leader.
See, where is Ashton Lawson? He's currently on NASCAR turn 4 as Nathan will get into his box perfectly. Just watching his speed there was no speeding. It didn't even look close. As Ashton has to get through this bus stop quickly. This has got to be a really fast lap for him. As the other two 2511 cars, I believe, don't pit. As Elliot not on 2511, but Brandon and Elliot will stay out as Nathan Nicholson exiting now. I think Ashton is going to take a bite out of his lead here.
It's gonna be close as Nathan Nicholson is just now passing the exit of the pits. And Nathan Nicholson is gonna still be in front of Berkowski and Elliot Henderson. A lot of speed out of Nathan Nicholson. He has potential to possibly lead every lap of this thing because he remains in the lead through pit stops. Ashton Lawson definitely cut that gap pretty big as he's in the same zip code now as Nathan Nicholson, but he has to really make up a lot of time, especially with the two slower cars right in front of him of Brandon and Elliott. Gets past Elliott, okay, and now he has to get past Brandon. Christopher Heller right there, right behind Ashton.
You have to remember, the sun has set now. It is nighttime. We started this race off in the evening. Now it's night. Sun's down. The track's gonna change. That's one thing about these road courses is the track changes so much just based off the track temperature, the tire temperature, how much cloud cover you have. As Ashton gets a little squirrely going into the corner there. But everything changes, and some drivers are stronger than others on certain track conditions.
Ashton's really trying to get past Brandon. Really talking on the radio a little bit there with Brandon. Brandon might be holding him up a little bit for his teammate of Nathan Nicholson.
Oh, Ashton has to lose so much time getting around Brandon. Oh my goodness.
And here comes the other 2511 car of Christopher Heller, and he's going to pounce on the 24, and he's going to take the second spot going into turn 1.
Elliott's still staying out, by the way. Elliott's on lap 15 of this run, unless he pit and we all missed it, but still.
I'm not sure how far these guys can get on fuel. I'm not sure if he might even be saving gas. Because if he gets to lap 17, 18, he could possibly make it on the one stop. But it would be very gutsy to do that. I don't see another reason why he would be staying out this long. Alex, what do you think of Elliott Henderson's situation?
Well, a one stop is physically impossible looking at his pace throughout this run and the damage that he has, showing that he would have had to run a little bit harder to get that kind of pace. I think he's just stretching it to the very end of the fuel run, as our fuel runs are 15 to 16 laps, so he'll have to pit this time by if he wants to, well, not run out of fuel.
I like how Kyle Hall just crashed into the tire. Sorry to interrupt you there, Alex, but he was stuck in the tire wall, and he has asked for a tow and is now on pit road in that all black, no numbered machine. We're gonna get a replay here, it looks like, of Kyle Hall, who's been one of the biggest movers all day, but has been sitting outside the top 10 most of the day. You see him just drive it in there and just locks him up and boop, right into the tires, just like the number 6 earlier.
Just wanted to give the tires a little kiss. No one had hit them in a while. He just wanted to make sure that they were remembered.
Hey, this is a PG Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Nicholson still has a very big lead, as coming around that last time has an 8-second lead over his teammate Christopher Heller, and is a little over 9 seconds in front of Ashton Lawson. Nathan Nicholson putting on a show today in that number 47 as Elliott Henderson finally comes down pit road in that number 37 machine.
Scott Stewart seems to have found a bit of his footing here after that rather poor start. He has re-passed Merrick Watchhorn and, I believe, Brandon Barkowski to slowly but surely regain his positions here.
That's Scott Stewart's coming on. He's currently scored in the 6th position, but with Elliott Henderson on pit road, he's currently in the 5th spot, trying to get to Josh Cottle to take over the 4th spot, as he's looking really strong on this run. Last time by, he was 2 seconds quicker than Josh Cottle. So a lot of speed out of that 26 here early in this run.
Yes. You know, like, remember what I was just talking about with different track conditions work well for different drivers? This is one of those examples. Obviously, Scott does better at the nighttime instead of the daytime, as he cuts low here onto Josh Cottle. Here he comes.
26 has a lot of speed, putting down some of the quickest lap times all day, on pace with Nathan Nicholson in that 26, as he's going to try to move into the 4th spot coming into the bus stop.
Here comes Merrick to the inside of Josh Cottle, too. Josh is going to give up the position.
That was a power move from Watchhorn, and Josh didn't want anything to do with it, as he just backs off and lets Merrick have the spot.
Merrick outbraked him, that's for damn sure.
Heller's put a little bit of a gap between himself and Lawson, as he consistently is putting better lap times down than Lawson with the 155.9, almost 156 flat that last time by. A really quick lap, but still a half a second behind Nathan Nicholson. That 47 is fitting. Marcus Ambrose, AJ Allmendinger vibes from Nathan Nicholson tonight.
Yes.
Well,
And
drivers, we have an update on Elliot Henderson for all you Henderson fans. This is the hardest announcement I've ever had to make. Following the pit road service on June 17th, 2021, we have lost Elliot Henderson as he is disconnected from the server.
Elliot Henderson doing a kind of a start and park, a part-time effort here in the Great Lakes Cup Series, as he also participates in the Road to Pro. So a start and park from him tonight to get some points for the Great Lake Cup Series, as he now goes on to race the Road to Pro event. I'm not sure where they're at this week, but good luck to him, as Nathan Nicholson still leads the field here at the Daytona Road Course.
Yeah, extremely smart move from Elliott there. Instead of just, instead of not racing the race, he's gonna, just looking at guys who have disconnected and, DNF'd, he might have finished dead last, which is 22nd, but now he's gonna pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. He's gonna pass 5 cars. So instead of finishing 20th, he's gonna finish, I believe that'll be around 18th, roughly, as Kyle Hall was the last car to disconnect.
You see right there the number 07 going off the track of Seth Harrelson, able to get it back together and continue on.
As Elliott getting out of the car, flying in the helicopter off to Road to Pro Series. Maybe we'll see his plane take off in the background.
Maybe. Always enjoy watching Elliot Henderson race here in the Great Lakes Series. A lot of aggression and a lot of speed. Don't really know too much of him as a road course racer, but looked pretty good here tonight.
Elliott is just overall a good driver. Really, put him in any car, anywhere, and he'll find success. So, good luck to him tonight in Road to Pro. Hoping he can pull a win off there for him and his guys.
Christopher Heller continues to gap third place Ashton Lawson. A lot of speed out of that number 11 early on this run. Scott Stewart hasn't really been able to gap Merrick Watchorn too much, as Watchorn has picked up his pace following in Scott Stewart's path. Merrick Watchorn looking to get a top 5 tonight.
Yeah, as just looking at the times here, Nathan Nicholson still pardon me, not half a second. He was 2 100ths up on Chris Heller that lap, and Heller was up 6 100ths on Ashton.
I would like to point out really quickly that Josh Cully, he's having some troubles, and he's getting approached by Nathan Nicholson. Nathan Nicholson might have to pass his first car all day, as he's coming up fast on the number 33.
As in the pre-race drivers meeting, it was very put out there that lap cars obviously are welcome to move out of the way. As we see Pete off the track, he will get back on the track and figure it out. But as it was said in the pre-race drivers meeting, that the leaders have to manage the lap cars. The lap cars aren't expected to just pull off into the grass. He can't do that here. If I'm Nathan, I'm slowing down a little bit right now. There's no need to push and catch this lap car at a bad spot. If I'm Nathan, I'm either going to push through both chicanes and try and catch him coming onto the oval where it's safer to yield the spot, or I'm going to try and catch him coming out onto the oval, as just based off the timing here, he'll either get him on this straightaway or he'll get him off the backstretch chicane.
Honestly, me personally, I am hoping that Josh blocks him. I want Christopher Heller and Ashton Lawson to catch up to him and make this kind of a race, because Nathan's been out there by himself all day. He hasn't really had any pressure, hasn't had to battle anybody at all today. I'm very interested to see how he would do under that pressure.
No, Nathan will just, you know, be on his way. I think Nathan's just so fast on straight speed. He won't really have to worry about anyone, as we see Josh Cully there miss the time a little, as Nathan also gets a little swirly out, as Nathan's going to suck up his draft. The 33 obviously isn't going to fight back. Up to the wall he goes. Nathan right under him. No issues with the first lap car of the race.
Oh man. I'm listening to Christopher Heller on the radio saying that he knows that Nathan's in another zip code, so this feels like a win if he gets second. Because Nathan is fast. Nathan is incredibly fast. I'm pretty sure it is the 47 on the side of his car, though. I'm almost positive.
Just a quick update on Elliott. His Road to Pro race is at Dover tonight, since I know we were looking at that.
Okay, cool. I like Dover. Dover's a really awesome racetrack. I really enjoy that track.
Funny enough, Dover is awfully similar to Nashville, which is where all officials are this week.
I have been struggling so hard with Nashville, and I've learned that it's all about qualifying there.
Yeah, that's a very, really, really, really hard track to pass at, is what I found out. So, as I don't know about the Cup Series, but I do know that the Truck Series heads there as, I believe, the first race in the round of 16 or 12. So it'll be interesting when we go there. Just a quick update on the schedule. The Cup Series is also going to Nashville at some point during this season.
If you guys are wondering where the Great Lake Cup Series will be at next week, we will be at Phoenix Raceway for 150 laps. Same place, same time. We will also still be in the Gen 6, aka the current Cup car. Excited for that. Always very exciting in Arizona at Phoenix Raceway. There's Nathan Nicholson
Yes,
still
sir.
putting on a show here. Christopher Heller continuously gapping Ashton Lawson as he is a couple seconds in front of the number 24. Scott Stewart maintaining that same distance between him and Merrick Watchhorn. Josh Goddell has fallen way back of these guys in the 6th spot. Then you have to go all the way back to just now entering the bus stop is Brandon Berkowski in the 7th spot. RJ Williams is in 8th. And then Nick Martin and Zachary Henry are still battling it out. But this time, instead of for 8th, it is for 9th as they round out your top 10.
Reminder on the pit strategy there, those slower cars that we talked about, I believe it was Josh Caudle and Ashton Lawson, those cars were one of the first ones to come down. It was those tires that we were talking about. Road courses eat up tires, and the tire advantage you can get here is absolutely huge.
Yeah, that is correct. Those guys were part of that original first stop of pit stops from the Spectrum cars. So it'd be very interesting to see when they come in next, as we're on lap 21 right now.
And speaking of Spectrum Racing cars, Spectrum Racing driver RJ Williams misses the first turn, which allows Brandon Barkowski to get by him for 7th position.
Well, just to inform you on when these drivers should be pitting, they should be pitting about this lap, possibly the second one if they've stretched it long enough. So we'll be watching them come into the pits the next time by.
It really
Thanks,
seems
Alex.
like their strategy has everything to do with tires as they're trying to gain some time early in the run. But then, as you see with Josh Goddell really falling back hard with that tire fall off.
Yes.
Josh Goddell looked like he might have spun around in the number 31. Trying to get a replay here for you. This comes through the corner. Looks like it's going to be coming into the tire barriers. We've seen most of the accidents come through this corner as it's so flat. The tires just lock up so easily. And yep, locks him up. He doesn't hit the tires, though. Great job by not hitting the tires from Josh.
That allows Brandon Barkowski to get by him. Brandon's had a great couple laps there. He's just, Everyone's just wrecked around him. Brandon Barkuski is pressing that intimidate button.
Brandon's just picking him off one at a time as he now moves into the 6th position. And Josh locks him up again into the NASCAR bus stop or the NASCAR carousel, whatever you call it. I always forget what it's called. And he almost spins it, and he will come down pit road, followed by his teammate RJ Williams, who's going to get in there real fast.
Josh done. He's like, you know what? I need new tires.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I need tires. And RJ's like, I'll come with you.
We both need tires. Let's get tires together, like friends. On
You need your
road,
pit stop, buddy.
Yeah, you need a pit stop, buddy. In case, maybe they
You don't
can
wanna get
battle
lost.
each other. So they'll battle each other, so we have something to watch. Just
Yeah,
looking
these
up.
drivers here who are pitting in this time by will be taking it to the finish with about a lap left on their fuel. But man, they're gonna have to watch out for their tires. As Josh Cuddle is almost spinning coming off pit road, went onto the racing surface as he came around the first corner. That could have been bad for him.
That's gonna be a penalty for him too. He's gonna have to. I believe it is a stop and go penalty. Yeah, he is definitely
Ooh.
gonna have a penalty from race control for that as he spins onto the racing surface. That could have been really bad.
It's been a tough couple of laps for Josh, who's been very strong, running in the top 5 most of the day. And now he might have gotten it looks like he probably gotten a penalty from that, as he's currently in the 7th spot, but won't be there for very long. Very disappointing from the 31 bunch.
Yes.
Oh, Brandon is stopped in the bus stop, as it looked like he ran through it. We were talking about how good he was doing. It looked like he had ran through the bus stop and had to stop and go. And he continues on. Merrick Watchhorn on pit road.
And Ashton Lawson as well, but I gotta be honest, that's a really smart move from Brandon there. Why junk the car trying to make the corner? You know you're not gonna make the corner, you just gotta drive through it. You get the slowdown penalty, but a slowdown penalty is better than a junked race car.
And Ashton's going to pull off pit road, doing a similar strategy to what he had done last time, pitting before Nathan and Christopher Heller.
As we see, I believe that was Nick Martin also missing the chicane. I've also just realized that my replay has been like a couple seconds back this whole time, so that's a little embarrassing, but we figured it out. We're caught up now. So Ashton Lawson returns to the racetrack in now the 4th position, but he will make most of that time back here once Scott Stewart pits. I don't think Ashton has the pit stop time to really make up any time on Heller or Nathan, but he should be able to get Scott Stewart here.
I don't know, he wasn't too far behind Heller, and he was able to jump over him last time through the pit stops. I feel like Heller really has to come in this time if he wants to keep that spot. That's just me personally. If Heller doesn't come in this time, I think Lawson can skip back over him again. As we see someone in the grass can't make it. Looks like Watchhorn, who just came out of the pits, was really hitting the gas. And he's talking about netcode. It sounds like there might have been some contact. So we're going to try to get you maybe a replay on the incident between him and the Dogecoin vehicle. And here you see here. And Jacob. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was netcode or not. Kind of looked like he just kind of lost it.
Yeah, and if you put your foot to the floor in that part of the track, at least in the trucks as I've been practicing for it, you're gonna wreck through that. But that might have been netcode. It was kind of hard to tell from that angle, but oh well. Move on from it. Merrick still looking solid with a good finish tonight. He should once these pit stops cycle out, as Nathan Nicholson continuing to lead the way in that 25-11-47 car.
Heller battling with some lap cars, getting past Brandon White, thanking him on the radio for letting him by, and he's not too far now behind that number 33, Josh Gully, who's been really struggling tonight.
Road courses aren't for everyone, but you gotta do them. You gotta race them.
Zachary Henry is now on pit road with Jacob Bransky. And there you see the Dogecoin vehicle getting some tires. Zachary Henry as well. Zachary Henry now going to pull back onto the racetrack. And then number 39 machine has been sitting around 9th and 10th most of the day. Been battling with Nick Martin a lot today. Those two have been inseparable today.
Yes. You know, I tend to see him in road course racing that it just seems like everyone's so packed together. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna see the same guys together all race, it seems. So it's like I remember we went to the Charlotte Roval in the truck series, and I believe it was me, Eric Kep, Ty Aiken, and William Barbagelata were all like under a blanket for close to the whole race. It was a lot of fun.
Heller is currently on pit road. The number 11 car finally making his final pit stop of the day. Mr. Heller going to change 4 tires, I would assume, and fill it up with fuel to get to the finish. And we're going to see where he comes out against Ashton Lawson.
As Ashton Lawson messes up that front stretch chicane, goes over both turtles.
Heller's just now pulling out of pit road, and Ashton looks like he might pass him on the exit road here, as they're going to be neck and neck. It looks like this is going to be close.
Hits the wall on pit road!
Heller drove it really hard. I saw the sparks in our Daytona winner with troubles, and he spins it. He's into the guardrail. Oh my gosh. He's in the tires. I don't know why he did all that. I don't know what he's doing.
Mistake for the 11 car. Chris Heller could have had a 25-11 1-2, but Ashton Lawson is here to spoil the party.
I don't know what Heller was thinking. He didn't need to drive it that hard. As you saw in the last run, all Heller needed to do was wait, and he caught up to Lawson by just taking it easy because of the tire difference. And there he just felt pressured, hit the wall as you see there, and just madness. Just wrecks himself, smashing the gas not once but twice. Oh my gosh.
I know that it's still a ways away, but Nathan Nicholson hitting pit road. I know Nathan was on old tires, but Ashton Lawson is running 2 seconds quicker than the leaders that lap.
It's be very interesting to see where Ashton Lawson pops out against Nathan Nicholson. I'm thinking Nathan Nicholson will still have the lead, but Lawson should be close. Maybe enough to put some pressure on the 47.
I don't think so. I think Nathan. Remember, another thing too is Nathan has that front pit boxes. That's going to be a huge deal. Is that 2511 Toyota Camry up on, and well now coming down on the jack. He will leave pit road. Ashton Lawson just about to cross the start finish line. Will he catch him?
And Nicholson's in the wall. Nicholson is also in the pit exit wall, and he almost spins it very close from the 47 as he now exits the pit exit road. And a lot of drama for 2511 Racing.
That wall might say 2511. Is Nathan Nicholson also going to come out behind a lap car? Oh, does the lap car yield? He will. Okay, that's good because that gives him a bit of breathing room. Ashton still brought in a good chunk of that lap time. Ashton is wheeling that that Spectrum Racing 24 car. He is hauling.
Yeah, he ran one of the quickest laps of the race last time by with the 155.1. So he's just really wheeling.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Kyle. Just getting a quick replay of that 47 car. See, just wasn't that bad. Nowhere near as bad as Chris Heller. Still hit the wall, but not nearly as bad. I don't think it'll be any, bad damage or anything either, but still something to note.
Nicholson still has control of this race. He's led every single lap. We have 10 to go at the Daytona road course. Does anybody get in his way? What do you think could happen here in the last few laps, Alex? Anything that could maybe prevent Nathan from winning?
Well, with how he's been driving, especially with the gap he's going to pull on this set of tires, I think we're looking at a dominant Nathan Nicholson victory unless he gets just absolute disaster with his own massive mistake, kind of like he did on pit road, taking him out, or a lap car making their own mistake taking him out. Essentially, he's going to have to be taken out to lose this race by this point.
Thanks
Yeah,
for your thanks for your opinion, Alex. This should be very interesting for Nathan, as he just really needs to have a Sunday drive. He can get himself a checkered flag.
yeah, Nathan just needs to hang out. You know, there's no real reason to really go pedal to the metal or anything. Ashton, just looking at that lap time. Oh, well, that lap time, it doesn't really matter, as that was the lap Nathan came off pit road. My apologies, but still, you just gotta hang out. Why push right now if you're Nathan? You're not really racing anything. You're really just racing the track. That's all you gotta do.
Christopher Heller trying to catch up to Ashton Lawson, but that damage has really hurt him badly. Last time around at a 158, around 2 seconds slower than second place Ashton Lawson. Merrick Watchorn getting past Scott Stewart for fourth. Battle there. These two have been going at it for a while. Merrick Watchorn coming back from that mistake, looking to still finish in the top 5. Not too far behind them is Josh Cottle, looking to have a little bit of a comeback. Still running pretty quick lap times at that number 31. In 7th place, you have his teammate RJ Williams, a couple car lengths behind him. Brandon Berkowski trying to make a comeback in 8th position. In 9th spot is Zachary Henry. And then not too far behind him is the Dogecoin vehicle of Jacob Bransky, who I think is our biggest mover of the race right now with +9.
Oh yeah, Bransky with the, yeah, he is by far and away the biggest mover.
Nathan Nicholson comes around and gets 8 laps to go. Only 8 more laps remaining here in Daytona at the Daytona road course. American Scott just keep on going back and forth. This is the best battle we have on track at the moment. Scott right there behind Watchhorn. Scott's been really strong on these longer runs today.
Yes, sir, he has. Is like we said, that longer run when the sun set, Scott found some speed, which, like I said, you know, most of these drivers probably practice with the conditions being at nighttime. Most of the race was run at night. So why would you practice conditions during the day? You know what I mean?
Exactly. At least practice those conditions with the sun going down. As Scott Stewart dives it in there on Watchhorn. Watchhorn gives him the space. And Stewart looking to clear him out of the hairpin as they get together. Stewart spins. Oh my gosh.
No.
And Watchhorn says, my bad, he got loose. And Stewart is okay
Oh!
with that to continue. As he comes onto the track, almost gets rear-ended by Brandon White.
RJ just flat-footed through that. He's like, this is my spot now. He did not lift. Wow.
RJ pushing for that point, getting past Scott Stewart. Josh did as well. Josh looking to get a top 5 finish as you're going to take a look at this replay. Watchhorn.
Oh.
Yeah, he said he got loose. Just came right down into Scott. It looked like Scott taking his exit on the corner was not expecting Watchhorn to turn right.
Yeah, that was just a bad. Just hearing driver chatter on the radio. No hard feelings between the two. It was a racing incident. As Scott is about to make a move on RJ. RJ just, he doesn't block him. He just lets him know, hey, I don't want to go too wide through this bus stop. I'm going to make you work for it.
RJ not going to give him the spot. RJ looking to hang on to that 6th position. Still some chatter on the radio between Stewart and Watchhorn. Seems very cordial between the two.
Well, Ashton just got tight in turn 2. Not like it matters too much, as he has a massive lead on the 11 car of Christopher Heller.
Christopher Heller ran almost a second quicker, though, last lap than Lawson, even with all that damage. That's pretty impressive. Heller most likely won't catch him and be able to get that 2nd spot, but still impressive for him to get possibly compete for a podium spot with all the damage that he has.
Yeah, you know, really, I think regardless of what happens, like I said, Christopher Heller not really renowned for his road racing skills here in Great Lakes, but still put together a very decent run, even with that incident off pit road. He's still, I think, by far and away good for a podium here. You know, we have 7 laps to go. I think Heller's got it in him for a podium here, even in that damaged car.
Scott Stewart has gotten around RJ Williams, you saw there. And Stewart's now beginning to drive down Josh, trying to get that top 5. As Stewart and Josh have been sitting in the top 5 most of the day. So both of them really are going to push hard for that top 5. As we have, as Nathan Nicholson is coming to 6 laps to go here in Daytona. As you're looking at the battle for 5th right now. Stewart versus Cottle.
Sir, there's good battles all around here.
Watchhorn is kind of in his own zip code for the first time all day, all by himself in fourth. I feel like he's been the guy battling the most today, battling with Scott Stewart for the most part.
As we take a look here at Phil Bedford, he's in the chicane, gets off there nice and clean, currently running in 11th, but oh, pardon me, sorry, I believe he is actually in 10th, as he is getting hunted down by that Dogecoin car. Uh-oh, I think I might, actually, wait, I'm not Kyle, I didn't jinx him, but that Dogecoin car hunting him down.
Yeah, Bransky was in 10th a few laps to go. Not sure how Bedford made that pass, but Bedford is now in the 10th spot. As right behind him is the Dogecoin vehicle looking to get that top 10 position. Jacob Bransky, currently our biggest mover on the race.
As Bedford locks it up.
Bransky putting the pressure on. This is going to be a battle to the checkered flag for a top 10, as these guys aren't that far behind Zachary Henry. This could possibly be a 3-way battle for that 9th spot.
Yeah, that just depends on where Bransky and Bedford meet. You know, if they get side by side on the oval, well, that's fine. I'm sure that they'll sort it out. But if they go side by side through the infield, they're going to lose time, and Henry's going to pull away.
Nathan Nicholson coming by this time to get 5 to go. No threats. No lap cars near him right now. The closest lap car would be Seth Harrelson, which is a bunch of seconds in front of him, currently coming through the infield portion of the track. So Nathan Nicholson has a clear road ahead of him. Most likely won't have to get past any lap cars for the remainder of this race, pending an incident.
Yes, I think this is an absolutely dominating performance from Nathan Nicholson here. Like, just absolutely walked the whole field today.
Scott Stewart has gotten to Josh. Sorry to interrupt you there. And he's going to dive it in there. Almost contact. He locked him up in the 26. And Josh is feeling the pressure as these two approach 5 to go. And a battle. Oh, and Josh is in the wall trying to save it. And Stewart goes past him. Josh freaks out on the radio, and Stewart makes the pass and gets himself back into the top 5.
Wow, what a drive from Scott Stewart. Oh my goodness, man. He, you know, after that unfortunate incident there, that was close. That was actually probably a lot closer than we think it was.
And I wouldn't completely give up on Stewart getting back to Watchhorn. It's a couple of seconds back, but if Watchhorn makes a mistake, Stewart's going to be right there on his bumper.
Yeah, I think Merrick would have to make a mistake, as his lap times are decently better than the 26 car there, but it all depends, man. It's a road course. It ain't over till it's over. We saw that last week at Daytona. It looked like Merrick had it in the bag, and on the last lap, he had it until he didn't.
Remember how you were saying how if you were Nathan, you would just back it down a little bit? Well, the last time by, Ashton Lawson ran a 157.1. Christopher Heller also ran a 157.1. Nathan Nicholson ran a 156.1. Brandon's in the tires, another victim.
those tire barriers. That sucks for Brandon, obviously having a terrific run up there. He will surrender, I believe that is 3 positions there.
We're gonna we have a battle here as Bedford got past Zachary Henry, it looked like, and he has moved himself up to the 8th position. I mean, to the 9th position. Well, actually, the 8th position because of that incident. So yeah, Bedford, Henry, Bransky, and Berkowski all battling it out for that 8th position.
That's crazy. Let's just see here. I'm sure Brandon, like everyone else, that corner has been lethal. It's such a hard, corner to take. It's flat. The braking points are a little, I'd argue there's about 3 different points there where you can brake. So.
And Jacob all over Zachary Henry coming through the NASCAR carousel, and he almost spins it. Keeps it straight for now in the number 03.
Jake
Bedford puts a
Bransky
little distance.
up in 9 spots from his qualifying position.
And Berkowski looking to get himself back in the top 10 as Brandon's been running between 5th and 10th all day. Been one of the stronger cars throughout the day. So he's definitely looking to get back in that top 10. And I don't think he's going to play nice either as he dives it in on the 03 right there.
Oh, that might cost him those. He's going to have to tighten up a little to avoid taking him and the 03 out.
Very exciting battle now for the 8th position. You're not missing anything up front as everyone is keeping their distance in between each other. This is the best battle on the track right now, the one you're watching currently, as Jacob gets a little loose coming out of the hairpin. They pull onto the oval portion of the track. Phil Bedford leads him out, is around a second and a half in front of Zachary Henry. He's really beginning to gap these guys. Zachary Henry right in front of the Dogecoin vehicle of Jacob Bransky, and Brandon Berkowski losing a little bit of time with that damage that he has on the front of that car.
Yes. Looking up here, I believe that is the 07 of Seth Harrelson. Looks like he just got caught in the grass here as Nathan Nicholson will approach. Let's see what happens. Nathan caught him on a good part. That's one thing I've noticed besides the one car of, I want to say it was the 86 of Brandon White, Nathan has caught almost all of these cars on the oval. That's the best spot. That's the best spot to catch a lap car because it's much easier for them to, move out of the way, not be a pain as we see it there.
Harrelson gets out of the way of Nicholson. And Nicholson once again now has a clear road as he has 3 laps to go, approaching 2 to go here at the Daytona road courses. He has led every single lap of this event and looking to complete the complete sweep of the race. As you continue to watch the battle back there for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, Bedford is really checked out on these guys.
I think all those 3 guys got together battling and Phil just pulled away. That's how these road courses go, is you give up so much time battling other cars that if I'm a driver and I see 2 cars battling in my rearview mirror, I am so unbelievably happy because I know that they're going to lose a ton of time.
These 3 have been going at it the last couple of laps. Brandon putting the pressure on the 03, and Bedford looked like he might have messed up. Didn't get into the tire barrier, but definitely made a mistake in the trouble turn all day. And once again, we're going to have a 4-car battle for 8th as these guys are right back to Bedford's bumper as you look on board with Bedford.
Yes. Absolute craziness in that battle back there.
This is the greatest racing I've seen all day. Very hard battling back there to get a top 10 spot. They're going to get as many points as you can possible. We have 2 to go. Once again, nothing happening up front as Christopher Heller isn't really catching up to Lawson, and Nicholson has a very safe gap from everyone.
Yeah, you want to get
Oh,
every point. Whoa.
sorry to interrupt you there. That was crazy.
Yeah, that
Almost an accident.
was close. That was really close, but Brandon gets around him. Brandon's like, Hood, I don't need one of those.
He's driving fine without one as he moves back into the top 10. And Bransky's right on his bumper as Zachary Henry and Bedford try to check out on these guys. A little bit of the dirt kicked up from the 03 right there, trying to get back to Perkuski.
Yeah, it looks like Bransky there just overdrove the corner, and it looks like he's about to do it again. Or maybe not. My apologies. Look, Bransky actually got a better run out of that corner than I expected.
Bransky's been really strong all day coming through the field, but might be feeling that pressure here late as he has dropped back to the 11th position. Zachary Henry trying to get back to Bedford and put that pressure on for 8th.
As the white flag is out here for Nathan Nicholson.
Nicholson looking to take it home here tonight. A dominating performance from this 47 car. Just an amazing performance all night. Even through green flag stops, able to hold the lead.
Yeah, it was fantastic driving from him. But as exciting as his dominant performance it was, you know, there's not really much to talk about right now. He's, you know, far and away the best car on the track, but he's not really battling anyone. So, as actually all the cars really have seemed to have evened out except for Bransky in the 25, but oh, as I say that, here comes Bransky with a good run to the inside. Whoa, that was close.
Almost an accident coming out of the bus stop, and Bransky's really loose coming into the corner.
Bransky was wiggly there. Oh my goodness. As Nathan Nicholson into NASCAR 3 and 4 there.
Oh, there they go!
Contact!
Oh, gosh. What a save from Berkowski. And he's
They got one. They got one more lap though. But as I say that, Nathan Nicholson. Oh, sorry. When I said that that Nathan was in NASCAR 3 and 4, I meant to say he was in NASCAR 1 and 2. My apologies. But dominating performance tonight from this 47 Toyota Camry. Obviously his first time running a full-time series here in the Great Lakes Cup Series. As he exits the front stretch chicane knowing he is the winner, Nathan Nicholson is your Daytona Road Course winner, his first Great Lakes Cup Series win, and makes 25-11 go back-to-back, both Daytona races.
Great performance from Nathan, led every single lap as Ashton Lawson drove through the carousel. He slows down. Heller going to catch him a little bit, but he's not going to be able to get to him as Lawson's going to cross the line in second, and Heller, coming off his victory last week, is going to come home third and finish on the podium this week.
As we continue to go back in the field here, we see Brandon still trying to make a late charge on that Jacob Bransky machine as the fireworks go off, but you know, depending on how this corner goes, the fireworks might just be starting. He gets to him. Is he gonna turn? Oh, does he have it in him in the next bus stop? Here they go.
They almost wrecked last time they went through the NASCAR chicane, so this should get very interesting. Brandon Berkowski really trying to get to the bumper of the number 03 of Jacob Bransky. Here comes Berkowski. He's going to really drive it in there. He's all over me, locks it up, but he's not.
Oh, Bransky misses the chicane.
Oh, no, not Dogecoin. No.
Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Does Bransky have enough time to slow down?
It's going to be close to the line.
Oh!
And it's Berkowski. And that was for 10th. That was not for the win. It was for 10th. We were very excited. That was for 10th.
Yeah, that was not for the win.
That was for 10th out of a 20-car field.
Yeah.
Brandon doing an impression of me in the chat. Oh, that was awesome. That was a great finish for 10th. Nathan Nicholson. Fantastic performance from the 47. He is a winner in the Cup Series today in his first full-time season. Now you're going to see him burn the house down. The number 47 in victory lane at a road course again. Who would have thought it? Nathan Nicholson for 25-11 gets it done.
He's gonna burn that thing down. You know, as I want to see a replay of the 25 in the 03 there, as that was by a photo finish. Is Nathan Nicholson. They don't want that engine anymore. They can get rid of it. Go home.
All right,
We're gonna try to
gentlemen.
get some interviews for you guys. We're gonna send it down to our interview extraordinaire, Alex, in the pits.
Yes, we're gonna be dragging in our third place finisher, Christopher Heller here. Christopher Heller, nice to talk to you. Good finish in that race. How you doing after that?
Well, I'm a little frustrated that I just, on that last sequence of pit stops, that I smacked a wall coming out of the pits. And then I drove off the track because I'm an idiot, I guess. Feel like I should have finished second, but I'll take third after all that.
Yeah, was that nerves? Was that just a mistake? Like, what happened there?
I was just pushing the car too hard, getting out of the pits, trying to get in front of Ashton, and I just hit the wall.
Well,
It,
even towards the end of that race there, you still had decent pace with Ashton. Did you think you had any shot at trying to get up to him, or did you think that the damage was too much to overcome?
if I wouldn't have, so the damage, I mean, I don't think was too much because I was catching Ashton a little bit at the end of that run, but if I wouldn't have hit the wall and wouldn't have drove off the track and hit the tire barrier, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten past Ashton there, but there was no catching Nicholson. He was just way too fast tonight. But in all honesty though, my teammate Nathan, he's the reason why I'm probably even halfway fast here.
Yeah, we'll be waiting to hear his point of view in a minute here. Chris, thank you very much. Nice finish again, and hopefully next week you don't make any mistakes like that, and
Yeah,
maybe we'll see you in victory lane again.
yeah, hopefully. That was fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring in our second place finisher here, Ashton Lawson. Ashton, good finish, buddy. Let's see you in second place. Did you think you had anything for Nathan there?
Not really. He was gone.
It's a very simple answer indeed. Was there anything going on with the strategy to try and catch up to him, or was it just a matter of trying to accommodate to what you felt in the car?
Strategy was this: to get by Heller with a short pit. I didn't have a chance to get by Nicholson unless he wrecked.
Well, the race for second there. You got a little lucky there. Christopher made some big mistakes coming out of pit road, gave himself a lot of damage. But hey, you still pulled it together, ran some decent lap times, and came away with a decent second place finish.
Pressed the old intimidator button on him.
That you did. Glad to see it. All right, Ashton, thank you very much.
Have a good night.
And finally, we're going to bring in our dominant winner of the race, Nathan Nicholson. Nathan, what a lead you had coming to that finish. I mean, it wasn't even close.
They don't call me the road course ringer for nothing, man.
That they do. I could see why now. That was a hell of a performance out of you there. The other two were just saying that they were racing each other. They weren't even looking at you.
Yep, all you gotta do is pull a gap and you just keep hitting your marks. So that's what I did the whole race.
I mean, I gotta ask, were you even thinking about them when you were making your pit stops, trying to pull any strategy or anything? Or was it just a matter of, my tires feel a little worse here, I'll pit now?
Nah, I just pitted when I wanted to. You never short pit at a road course because you can get such a big gap. If you get gapped if you short pit, that's why when I would come out of the pits, Ashton would be like 7 seconds behind me on a couple lap old tires, and I was on fresh tires, so I would just drive away from him again. That's why I don't try to short pit. I just pit when I run out.
Yeah, that was something I was talking about with the boys here in the booth, trying to see what the strategies were across the board, telling them about the short pit versus over pit, and you seem to very much show that. at the beginning of the race with you stretching it 14 laps almost to the end of the fuel run before you pit. But I would like to ask you a little bit about the mistake coming off pit road on the second pit cycle where you hit the wall. I mean, what happened there?
Just there's a divot there. It sucked me down into it. I didn't even mean to touch the wall there, so it didn't really hurt the car. So
Yeah, I'm sure you're glad that didn't do too much damage. But hey, is there anybody you like to thank for this one?
yeah, just thank all my team, 2511 Racing. I want to thank Gavin Fitzgerald that's in here for saying I don't have long run speed, and I proved him wrong. Just want to thank you all for putting on the broadcast. And I
Yeah,
want to thank Ashton for, he's a good kid. Me and him got a little argument in the practice before the race started. I felt kind of bad after I said it and got yelled at, but, he's a good kid. He could have got up to me if he wouldn't have short pitted. I think me and him would have been neck and neck.
Yeah, we were watching that one. That was one of our notes early on in the race to watch what may happen between the two of you, but you seem to be way too far ahead for that one. But a good finish. Glad to see you put on a great race for us, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty. Well, no, you'll see me on Tuesday because I'm running the Star Truck for the truck race.
Woo! Special.
Yep, so double header for a road course for me.
As the guy that's racing in that race, please don't walk the field like you did today.
No promises.
He's got long run pace now.
You
Yeah.
want to know something funny is I raced that whole race on pedals I just bought today. I just got V3 pedals today after having CSL load cells. I'm still getting used to them, and I still don't understand how I drove away that far. Because a couple of times I didn't even think I was going to be able to make the turn by braking.
Oh, well, now he's just gloating.
Hey man, stock cars.
So he won by 20 seconds with the handicap, is what you're
Hey
saying.
man, stock cars belong on road courses. That's my motto, man. Screw ovals, they gotta make left and right turns, man. More entertaining racing, more strategy involved, and just turning left.
Oh, now we're getting some hot takes. All right, get him out of here before he says anything dumb. Get him out. Thank you very much, Nathan.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all take it easy, man.
All right, well, that was our race winner, finishing off with the big hot take there. Thank you all for tuning in to this race. Next week, where are we heading again, boys?
We'll be heading to Phoenix Raceway. We'll have 150 laps in the Valley of the Sun. Should be very exciting. And then we'll be back here at the Daytona Road Course on Tuesday for the trucks. And we already have a favorite in Nathan Nicholson, I think, for that. So that will be exciting. I would like to run down the top 10 again for you real quick. Nathan Nicholson getting the victory for you today. Ashton Lawson in second. Christopher Heller third. Merrick Watchhorn fourth. Scott Stewart Jr. able to come back for that fifth place finish. Josh Cottle able to get sixth. RJ Williams with another top 10 performance to start the year. Bill Bedford in eighth. Zachary Henry in ninth. And Brandon Berkowski in that epic battle with Jacob Bransky able to pull home 10th. Anything you guys want to add as we're about to check out and then see you guys back on Tuesday?
I mean, not much. Just awesome race overall from everyone. Really looking forward to Tuesday here. Obviously, I won't be up in the booth, but, I'll be racing it. Looking forward to it.
Maybe we'll try to speak to you after the race this time.
Yeah.
I'll try
So the
not
last-
to make fun of you too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that is goodbye from Daytona. It was a lot of fun. 35 laps, every single lap led by the 47 to Nathan Nicholson. Great race, and we will see you again here on Split Second Broadcasting on Tuesday for the Great Lakes Truck Series. And that ends today's broadcast, the Great Lake Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker. We will see you then Tuesday, 8 Eastern. Good night.